The Roman Empire during the early 1st century CE stood as a model of power and authority. Renowned for its military might, it expanded its dominion by combining a blend of hard power, maintaining order through military occupation and the imposition of Roman laws and religion, with soft power through cultural, technological, and trade influences. This approach generally won over the populations in the regions it conquered, where some willingly traded their religious freedom for the benefits of Roman civilization. Palestine, too, found itself under Roman rule, but with a unique twist. The region had long been influenced by Greek culture since the days of Seleucus the Ruler Nicator in 312 BCE. As time passed, the influence extended beyond culture to politics and lifestyle. With Romanization came a resurgence of corruption reminiscent of the days of Antiochus IV Epiphanes and the Seleucid rule. The local Greek and Hellenized Jewish elites supported the Romans, reaping the rewards of Roman patronage. Yet not all Jewish people supported this alignment with Rome. The Pharisees, who later merged into the Zealots, strongly opposed it. The unintentional class divide in Jewish society deepened, sowing the seeds of discontent. The corruption that had infiltrated the Roman bureaucracy in Palestine only fueled the anger of the Jewish population. Profits from the markets in Jerusalem mainly enriched the elite, leaving the common Jewish citizens in dire straits. Josephus, a Roman Jewish historian who fought alongside his fellow Jewish people during the revolt, highlighted the incompetence of the Roman governors in the province. The indifference they displayed mirrored the apathy of the emperors in Rome, further alienating the Jewish population. When Pontius Pilate took over as the procurator of Jerusalem in 27 CE, the relationship between the Jewish populace and the Romans was strained. Pilate shared Emperor Tiberius's disdain for the Jews and initiated a campaign to replace Jewish religion with a new cult dedicated to the Roman rulers. In 64 CE, Gessius Florus presided over Judea and displayed indifference similar to Pilate, but lacked the political acumen to manage the discontent among the Jewish population. This incompetence only added fuel to the fire, pushing the Jewish people towards rebellion. The revolt began in 66 CE when the Zealots, a group of un-Hellenized anti-elite Jews, instigated a riot in Caesarea, wiping out the Roman-supported Greek elite. Gessius Florus, in a fit of hubristic rage, plundered the Holy Temple to fund the cult of Caesar and erected statues of Emperor Nero and himself, further enraging the Jewish population. The desecration of the temple, the heart of Jewish religious and social life, and the introduction of Roman polytheism were grave provocations. This sparked random attacks on Roman citizens, especially in the northern towns, where the Jewish people overthrew the Roman government. In response, the Roman legions in Syria attempted to quell the Jewish rebellion. While they successfully recaptured parts of northern Judea and Galilee, they ultimately spread themselves too thin and were defeated in the Battle of Ben-Horon on the coast of Judea. The Roman forces abandoned their posts and retreated to Syria. Emperor Nero, infuriated by the Jewish rebels, dispatched the Roman general Vespasian to crush the rebellion and punish the people in the province. Vespasian, along with his son Titus, returned with a larger force and defeated the Jewish rebels. Approximately 10,000 Jewish people were killed or sold into slavery. The remaining Jewish rebels fled to Jerusalem, where they stopped paying taxes in the temple and indiscriminately murdered Roman soldiers stationed there. The Zealots and Sicarii overran the Roman garrison, a brief victory that fueled Jewish support for the Zealots. However, by 67 CE, Vespasian and Titus had retaken all of Judea and quelled the rebellion, leaving the Jewish leadership in Jerusalem in a state of panic. They realized that the revolt was unsustainable and begged the Zealots to surrender peacefully to save lives. The Zealots, fearing that such a move would undermine their authority, refused. In the ensuing power struggle, the Zealots and Sicarii executed the more moderate leaders who advocated peace. By 68 CE, these leaders had all been killed, not by the Romans but by their fellow Jews. Shortly before the siege of Jerusalem, civil war erupted in Rome. Vespasian ascended to the throne in 69 CE and Titus assumed command. By 70 CE, the Romans had besieged Jerusalem, leading to a siege that would change the course of history. As the city faced starvation, the Zealots, led by John of Giscala, resorted to desperate measures to rally the population, burning the stored crops and food reserves. This strategy, while successful in drawing support, led to dire consequences as the people and soldiers began to starve. After months of a range battle, the Roman army damaged the city walls enough to breach them. In the summer of 70 CE, Roman soldiers entered the city, engaging the Zealots in street battles. The Romans systematically destroyed the city, killing Jewish residents in their path. The Zealots and Sicarii retreated to the Holy Temple, their last stronghold. The Romans, after multiple attempts, set fire to the temple, a devastating blow to the Jewish people. The remainder of the city was pillaged and burnt to the ground. The Romans crushed the remaining Jewish resistance, and by September 70 CE, Jerusalem was under complete Roman control. The consequences of the Great Jewish Revolt were severe. Josephus claimed that over 1 million Jewish people were killed and many were sold into slavery. The Holy Temple was destroyed and never rebuilt, giving rise to Rabbinic Judaism, with rabbis assuming central roles in Jewish religious life. The synagogue became the focal point of Jewish culture, and the Torah became the most invaluable source of knowledge for the Jewish people.